Hi everyone, it's Mayor Shelley Brindle, and I am here with our town planner Don Samet and the chairman of our planning board Robert Newell. And we are here to invite you to participate in planning for Westfield's future. And this really kicks off the beginning of our master plan process, which we've been talking about for quite some time. So we thought we would give you a little bit about what to expect and most importantly, how you can participate. So Don, why don't you tell us a little bit about what it is and a little bit about the process?
Sure. Well, we are undertaking what's called a master plan reexamination, which is actually a review of our existing planning documents and planning policies, including our master plan, which was last comprehensively updated in 2002. We want to see how our planning policies have changed or should change as we move forward. We are going to look at every chapter of our existing master plan, what are called master plan elements, and the re-examination is ultimately going to contain recommendations for updating what's in our existing master plan, adding new chapters or elements to that master plan, recommendations for changes to our existing land use ordinances, and also, very importantly, updating the town's vision, its goals and objectives as we move forward. In essence, the re-examination report is going to help Westfield set its land use policy. And we need the help of the public in this task. It's the public's opportunity to help the town establish its vision, to build an action plan, really, for us moving forward. How should our master plan be updated? How can we guide Westfield forward? What is best about our community and what should be fostered? What are areas where there's need for improvement? How should the town manage growth? These are things that every community is facing. We want to be sure that we bring forward solutions and recommendations for how Westfield can best grow. This is the public's document. This is the public's vision for the future. It's the public's goals. We here, my responsibility as town planner, along with the planning board and the governing body, is to help bring the goals of the community forward and bring them to fruition. So I encourage everyone, when they have the opportunity to participate in this process. We'll have a website, which will be talked about. We're going to have a number of public forums, as well as meetings at the planning board. So there's a lot for us to do, and there's a lot for you to do as well as the public.
And so this is required by law, right? So every 10 years we have to do this, right?
Correct. The state law requires that we look at our master plan every 10 years at a minimum.
And what's different about this reexamination for Westfield as far as you know relative to what's been done previously?
Well, you'll see, for example, in the 2009 master plan reexamination, there was not this very all-encompassing public participation process. This is what we're doing now, can be called a master plan plus. There's extensive public outreach being conducted as part of this. It's going to be a community-driven plan rather than simply a administrative exercise.
And it should be something, I know, like if you go and read the master plan or the last reexamination, it feels like a very legal, land use dense document. It's not really one for the faint of heart. It's good nighttime reading if you're having a hard time falling asleep, right?
So true.
So our goal is when at the end of this process, we actually have a very user-friendly document, right?
Correct.
That talks about big picture, what our vision is, and the land use stuff ultimately goes into effect, excuse me, after we've had kind of the vision for the town, right?
That's
so
correct.
We figure out what we want it to be, what we want it to look like, and then what our land use needs to do to make it happen.
The master plan is not just a pretty document or a document that sits on the shelf. It is the foundation for every land use policy or land use ordinance and plan in the community. So it's legal, the foundations it gives us in forming our land use regulations it's what we need to have.
So we're trying to take the mystery out of land use and for the town, and it's something that everybody can relate to.
Correct, and I'm hoping with the community process we have, we'll get something that is put forward by the community and easily understood by not only folks in the community who've put it forward, but the development community as well.
That's great. So, Robert, as chairman of the planning board, so talk about the role of the planning board in this process, your role in the total process, and ultimately what the planning board is going to be responsible for doing at the end.
By legislation, the master plan and its reexamination is a responsibility of the planning boards of each community. And the planning board takes the responsibility very seriously because it is, as our planner says, the roadmap of where we go in the future. I have been involved in the last 2 re-examinations and master plan, and it is very dry, it's very legal, but it really is a living document that we will use to change or look to the vision of the future of what Westfield really wants to be. And by getting our public input, we should have a lot of new ideas, a lot of new directions, reinforcing our old directions, and really determining where we want to be in the next 10 to 15 years. The process has begun. We've established a steering committee of stakeholders in the community, and we've just had our first visioning workshop of those stakeholders. We have a very good idea, or the planners now have a very good idea of where we want to go. They will be shortly, starting in March, having public workshops. There will be 4 of them around the community that will be hopefully attended, large groups of people looking at different aspects that the planners are putting together. They'll come back with their comments and formulate a draft master plan. And once that's been tweaked and finalized, it comes to the planning board, and then our work starts reviewing it, analyzing it, making sure it's the direction we really want to go, and then it will get adopted. The planning board will send it back to the governing body for adoption. And that is the document that is the basis for any land use changes and zoning and everything else to do with land use.
So none of this can happen without your participation, and as we keep saying, this actually should be a reflection of your input and not something that comes from us sitting in these offices. Mm-hmm. So most importantly, there's an online survey that you can access through our town website. It's a town of Westfield / future Westfield. Please take the survey. I would love to see thousands and thousands of people participate in this, because the more data we have, obviously, the richer it will be. The first public meeting is going to be at Edison Intermediate School. Let's try to pack the auditorium there, and that is on March 21st from 7 to 9. And we have a great tagline, and it is Westfield's Future, Plan It, Live It, Love It. And hopefully you're going to see a lot about that on social media and in press and everything over the next 6 months. We hope this is going to wrap up by October. Is that right?
December.
Oh yeah, you want to overpromise and underdeliver, right? Or no, the other way around. But we hope you guys are all part of it. Look forward to it. It's going to be a really fun process, and it begins now. So go online and start with your survey, and we hope to see you at Edison on March 21st. Thank you.
Thanks for participating.